Rosemary for Remembrance. Hello, my name is Eva and welcome to Joan's Moans. A friend of mine phoned me yesterday to ask me to provide a wreath for a funeral, and the funeral was today. I try to avoid floristry, so I don't do weddings or funerals. I'm not a florist, I'm a flower grower on a small scale. So I can't promise flowers for weddings. I did try once for a friend of mine, and you have to plan a whole year ahead, and then you have to rely on plants behaving themselves. And it turned out it was too much work and the plants didn't behave themselves. The chap who had called to ask me about the wreath was a friend of the man who had died. The widow had handed over most of the funeral arrangements to my friend. As it's May the 3rd, I said yes to my friend. There's so much about at the moment, I should be able to do a one-off wreath at this time of year. At the end of the day, if you're making a funeral wreath, it's for the family and friends. It's something to show that people are thinking of each other at a time when they are sharing memories. I have some flowers in my field that are suitable for wreaths. I also go foraging for a lot of my bouquets anyway. And the lanes and meadows where I live in Brittany are a mass of colour at the moment. And I also have a lovely wisteria in my own garden that's just started to come into flower. So you get a contrast of silvery green new leaves and buds that are just starting to show a dark purple. I use the wisteria as the main flower for the wreath. I had no idea how to make a wreath. I know people who do, and I follow a lady called Georgie Newbury. She's a flower farmer from Somerset. I watched one of her videos last night on how to make a funeral wreath. And as with all things in my life, I watched the video and thought, I can do that, but I can do it better. But I can ignore all those tedious bits that Georgie Newbury is going on about. So I got up early this morning to go out and do my foraging for the wreath. I have several different irises in my flower field at the moment, yellows and blues, and they fitted in with the colour scheme. In the lanes and meadows we have white hawthorn and yellow broom in flower, and all the trees are great for floristry at the moment. I used hazel as the leaves are young and bright at the moment. I also cut some chestnuts. These are in bud or their leaves are just starting to show, so you get lots of different shapes and colours. I cut some privet too. There's a hedge over the road from me that never gets trimmed, so some of it had flower buds showing. And the last bit, rosemary, which I didn't have to forage for. Rosemary for Remembrance. Rosemary for Remembrance is a phrase spoken by Ophelia in Shakespeare's Hamlet. I grow rosemary for cooking and for bouquets. I had to deliver the wreath at 11 this morning. After I had cut all I wanted to, it was about 8:30. I had already made a frame for the wreath the night before, so I was still thinking I can do a wreath in 2 hours. As with all things in my life, when I've thought I can do that, I sometimes push it to the limit. At 10 o'clock this morning, I was running back up the lane doing more foraging, so I could just put a few finishing touches in place. The bits that I had were the wrong length or the wrong shape, and so thoughts of showing that people are thinking of each other were fast going out of my head. I did get there. I'm not sure that I looked as calm and collected as Georgie at the end of her video. I delivered the wreath to the widow's house. I probably looked a bit dishevelled, but I did deliver what I thought was a fitting tribute, and I hope she liked it. Thank you for watching.